Something bad is going on with young men. It's bad for them, and it's bad for the women around them.
I have been feeling and seeing how poorly young men are doing.
Why are men and boys struggling?
Why are men in such crisis?
And what made me really see it is a bit silly, but stick with me here. It was the Amazon Prime show Reacher. Now, if you haven't seen it, Reacher is a show based on the Lee Child novels of the same name. They're action-packed male fantasy fulfillment. And in them, we follow Reacher.
If you're a middle-aged man around 40, then you must try
The impossibly jacked wanderer who miraculously doesn't go to the gym and eats whatever he wants.
How do you eat like that and still look like you do?
Like this.
He kills bad guys, saves the day, and beds a new woman most every book. This is nothing new in the male fantasy fulfillment genre, except there is something that's weirdly new. In the show, Reacher, who is the most assertive, dominant action hero you could ever imagine.
Had enough of the hookup culture and looking
In your wildest dreams, never initiates anything sexual.
Anna, wash your mouth, boss, you're catching flies.
He's entirely passive with his female leads. We barely even see him look at the leading lady, who inevitably has to make the first, second, and third move before throwing herself at him. Now, this was not the case in the books from the early 2000s. It's an amendment from the 2020 show.
Dude, it just becomes like a fantasy of this guy who every guy wants to be. You want to get the girl in every town you visit, and Jack Reacher fulfills that fantasy.
And just so you know that I'm not exaggerating here, in Season 1, after asking him to dance and hanging out in a hotel room with him in her underwear, Roscoe literally has to walk in on Reacher showering to make something happen between them. And she, of course, leans in for the kiss in case he didn't pick up on her intention. In Season 2, Dixon indirectly asks Reacher out at work.
Will you buy me a drink?
I gotta keep working on these reports. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Then she directly asks him why he didn't do anything about it.
Is that why? Back in the day, you and I never happened. I mean, come on, Reacher. It's not like I didn't drop any hints.
Then she has him play doctor with a wound on her breast. And when he doesn't lean in then, she finally throws herself at him.
You don't have to be lonely tonight.
As the relationship continues, she makes every overt move.
Shot at by hitmen and almost blown up. I mean, to put it mildly, I've got some pent-up tension.
Season 3 is the same exact dance until Duffy finally just leans in and jumps Reacher.
I can still make sure she stays safe. I know it's important to you, so I want to make sure
Later, Reacher bashfully compliments her, but of course can barely hold eye contact.
If he cheated on you, he's an idiot.
And in the middle of tactical planning for a coming shootout, she completely jumps Reacher's bones.
You really want to make me feel better? I got an idea.
Now, I'm not saying that we should go back to the cardboard cutout female characters with zero agency. The male fantasy genre 50 years ago had its own issues.
Man talk.
What I'm saying is that if Reacher is the updated male fantasy, we need to ask ourselves, what does this fantasy of sexual passivity tell us about young men today? Think about that. Because before I give you my answer, I want to tell you about the male fantasies of my bygone era, the 2000s, and what they told us about my generation. You see, when I was a teen, there was one movie that mirrored the dream of so many young men and their hopes about women. The Girl Next Door. My God, did this movie hook me.
I personally kind of find it a perfect film, in my opinion at least.
It's the teen fantasy that lit up the early 2000s. The Girl Next Door became an instant cult favorite.
In it, Maddie, who is played by Emile Hirsch, has a stunningly beautiful girl move in next door to him. And when she does, his entire life is turned upside down by her impact on him.
Finding that one thing you really care about. That one special thing that means more to you than anything else in the world.
Now the fantasy, which is specific to the 2000s, is that she sees something in him without him doing anything stereotypically attractive. Maddie gets the girl of his dreams just by being his nerdy, previously unnoticed self. She literally appears next door and just likes him. This was of course my fantasy and the wish of many mathletes across the world.
I'm all wet, can I come in?
But even though Maddie is smaller and nerdier and way less capable, there's one thing he has that Reacher doesn't. He is undeniably attracted to Danielle. His desire for her cannot be hidden or suppressed, and his victory is in acting on that desire despite not being the stereotypical hot guy. In the Act 1 climax, which is such an iconic scene that I wish I could just play it outright, Maddie's at a party, and the jock has just slid up on his girl. Maddie is out.
Man, what's up? Can you come here for a second?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's cool. They're pals.
Danielle is now with the jock because, come on, look at that guy. And just as Maddie's about to leave in defeat, something shifts. Maddie acts on his desire, and we get one of the defining shots of my teenage life. Maddie wins because he goes for it. He doesn't do a million push-ups or beat anyone up. He just goes for it. This is the inverse of Reacher, who is super high agency in every action scene.
If you boys know what's about to happen to you, you leave now. So I'll give you to the count of 3. 1.
But totally passive around women.
Good thing I'm doing the asking. Come on.
Now, of course, this is a teen movie and Reacher's action-based, so maybe it's an unfair comparison. So let's look at an action film from the same 2000s era, Casino Royale.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
We have the same impossibly capable lead who kills bad guys and gets the girl.
It doesn't bother you, killing those people.
I wouldn't be very good at my job if it did.
But in 2006, he of course still wants her. Bond's desire for Vesper is immediate, and he's anything but passive in communicating it.
I'm the money.
Every penny of it.
So, as far as I can remember, in the 2000s, male desire for women still existed in that stereotypical male fantasy genre. Victory came from risking rejection to act on that desire.
That one special thing that means more to you than anything else in the world. And when you find her, you fight for her. You risk it all.
And a capable man could handle rejection without forcing the issue or getting overly flustered. And this is what worries me about Reacher. Desire for women, and if it were gay it doesn't matter, it's desire for sex, for intimacy, for a relationship, it's all gone. Sure, Reacher is a participant, but he's not an active initiator. And by the way, I see the same thing in a lighter form in 2019's Witcher.
They say witches can't feel human emotion. What do you believe in?
Geralt acknowledges his attraction to Yennefer, but it's her initiating at every stage.
But you can't contend with me. Sorry I couldn't be direct. I knew you'd fight it.
Now, perhaps I'm extrapolating based on just one show and I'm reading too much into it. But consider how broader media habits have shifted since the 2000s. It had its serious issues, but TV required you to feel